Hey you guys, hey. Alright, so welcome back to another episode of Carpool Chronicles. And today we are talking about credits. We are talking about credit scores. It's something that I probably get this question at least once a day, as far as like, what are the credit score requirements to purchase a home? So if this is your first time joining, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Jasmine Austin. I am a licensed realtor in North Carolina as well as DC. But as always, if you are interested in purchasing, buying, selling, investing, whatever in other areas or even out of the country, still hit me up. I have a ton of partners that I can assist with. And hello. But yeah, so I have a ton of partners who can assist with helping you buy, even if it's outside of North Carolina and DC. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're talking about credit today. The most common question that I get almost every day is, what is required? What is the required credit score to buy a home? And so let's start with the fact that while yes, using credit or having a credit score and all of those things is important and it plays a major part in purchasing a home, is not the only thing that is used to determine if you can get mortgage approved by a lender, right? And so the reason why lenders use credit scores is because they want to make sure that you are trustworthy, right? They want to make sure that you're financially trustworthy, and that's why they use it. But it's not the only thing, trust me. There are plenty of other things that go into you getting mortgage approved, such as like your debt to income ratio, or how much money are you asking to borrow? What does your history look like? Have you owned a home before? Like, have you had a mortgage before? And what did that look like? Did you default on your mortgage? Were you on time with the payments for your mortgage? It's a bunch of things that are taken into consideration. So let's start with like the basic, like the bare minimum of credit scores, right? Depending on the type of loan that you're using will determine the credit score minimum, right? For example, FHA loans. Everyone is familiar with FHA loans, and FHA will take a credit score as low as 580 when you're doing a 3.5% down payment, right? So 3.5% down payment. But what people don't know is that FHA also will go down as low as, I believe it's 500, right? A 500 credit score. But what people don't know about that, while they can get approved for an FHA loan with a 500 credit score, you'll have to put more money down. So they'll require you to put down 10%. So that's a big difference, right? So that's why, credit is important, because it can determine how much you're going to have to put down. So 3.5% versus 10% is a big difference in putting money down, right? Okay, so you have your conventional loan. The minimum for conventional loan is a 620 credit score. Now, I do tell people, especially with conventional, if you have a higher credit score, you can get a better interest rate, right? So that's what plays into a factor as far as credit score with your interest rates in conventional loans. So if you have a better credit score, you are increasing your chances of getting a better rate, especially now with the interest rates being crazy right now, okay? I know people want to deal with interest rates. All right, so we have the VA loan. While the VA does not set the credit score, like they don't have a requirement, lenders have their own requirements. And usually lenders would expect you to have a 620 credit score. I've actually closed on a buyer who had a less credit score, lesser than 620, but that is typically what the lenders require. And then you have your jumbo loans, which is when you are purchasing a home that is in a higher price point, and the jumbo loans typically require for you to have a 700 plus credit score. Then you also have like different programs, like home buyer programs. For example, you have like your CPLP, which is like the community loan program, where you can get up to like, I believe it's $35,000 now. In down payment assistance. They require for you to have a minimum of a 640 credit score. So you see, like, it varies, and depending on the lender, it will, determine what your credit score needs to be. Okay? So just to give you some tips on how to improve your credit score. Like if you're worried about your credit score not really being where you want it, or if you have like a decent credit score and you just want to increase your interest rate, here are some things, some basic things that you can do. Just 2 things, right, that you can do to increase your credit score. The first thing, pay your bills on time. That's it. I know, like, things happen, right? Sometimes things happen. You may fall on hard times or whatever, but do all you can to pay your bills on time. Especially, like, do you get like the Afterpay and the Affirm and all of those things, that pay for 4, pay buy now, pay later things? Pay them on time. It will bite you. It will come back and haunt you, okay? Pay them on time, because your on-time payments, or your payment history is what it's called, or your credit score, that accounts for 35% of your credit score. So it affects 35% of your credit score. If you're paying late, that impacts 35% of your credit score. Pay on time. That's it. Then the second one is your credit utilization. Some people don't know this. Do not use your full credit card. Let's say you have a credit card and your limit is $1,000. Do not use the $1,000. Like, don't use the whole limit, because it impacts your credit score. If you use the entire limit, it lowers your credit score. I typically tell people to keep it in between like that 10 to 30% range. So don't use more than 10 to 30% of your utilization, or like your credit, you know, what am I trying to say? Of like the amount that they gave you, okay? Don't use more than 30%. That is typically like a good place to stay or whatever, to keep a good credit score, because you want to still use your credit card, but you don't want to use too much of it. All right. Now, 2 more questions that I typically get about credit scores and buying a home. One is, can you buy a home without credit? Surprisingly, yes you can. It depends on the lender for one, and it depends on your situation, right? But some lenders will allow you to purchase a home without credit. What they will ask for is like different credit references or whatever. So there may be some other things that can be used in lieu of like just your typical traditional credit score. So it's not a no, it's a yes, but not a yes with all lenders. It just depends, okay? And then another question I get is, does checking your credit score hurt your or does checking your credit hurt your credit score? So while a hard inquiry, which is what you'll have when you're getting your credit score checked by, you know, a mortgage lender, that's going to lower your credit score slightly, not really a lot, not to where it makes a huge difference or whatever, but it's going to lower your score slightly. But you do have a 45-day window to have multiple credit checks by mortgage lenders, and it's all going to be recorded as one single inquiry. Okay, so you have like a 45-day window where you can shop around with different lenders to see who has the best rate and who fits best for what your situation is and what your needs are. Okay, and so also one last thing, for the people who have credit challenges and may need like help with their credit, and they feel like, you know, they need some assistance with getting on track to buying a home, I always say talk to a lender first. Your lender is going to be like your go-to person for all things financial, right? And I like to connect people with my clients and future clients. I like to connect them with my lender partners so they can get what's called a mortgage ready plan. Okay, and what that is when the lender looks at your credit, and if you're not in the position to buy just yet, it's not a no, it's just not yet. If you're not in that position and you need some help with your credit, they'll give you a mortgage ready plan and say, hey, like, here are some things that you need to improve on, here are some things that you need to work on, and then let's revisit this and let's rerun it to help you get mortgage approved. So again, I am Jasmine, and I just wanted to, you know, fill you guys in on credit requirements because it's something that I get a lot. But feel free to save this video, tag a friend, message it to a friend, like send it over to someone you know that may need it. DM me if you want more information, or if you need specific information based off of what you have going on in your situation. I would be more than happy to help. Again, I'm Jasmine Austin. I'm licensed here in North Carolina as well as DC. And if you are interested in buying, selling, or investing in other areas outside of DC and North Carolina, even internationally, still let me know. I have a ton of lender partners who are available to assist. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Talk to you later.